Okay. And I thought we'd start in a comfortable seat today, and do a little pranayam. So find your blanket, bolster, block, whatever you want to sit on, a pillow, whatever you've got there. And once again, so glad you're here. It's so nice to see you all. Thank you for being here. So find your comfortable seat. And then just take a few moments. We'll do Nadi Shodhana in just a few moments, alternate nostril breathing. But before we get into that, let's first just find our seat, find our breath. Take a few moments just to settle into the space that you're in. And to take a little check-in with how you're feeling this evening. And how this yin practice might support you. So start to breathe in and out through your nose. Feel the breath draw into the belly as you're inhaling, and then flow up and out as you exhale. Connecting with the expansion of the breath and the contraction. And let the breath, the movement of the breath start to bring a sense of ease or calm into your body, your mind, into your heart space as well. And then bring your hands up to your heart. Anjali Mudra, take a moment to make an offering of your practice. Okay, take a nice big exhale. And then just a few moments with Nadi Shodhana. So you can take your first two fingers to that space between your eyebrows and let your thumb hover over your right nostril and your ring finger hover over your left. Okay? So let's close off the right nostril. Take an inhale through the left all the way up to the center of your mind. And then close off your left and exhale out through your right. Use your full breath. You'll inhale through the right, nice and slowly. Close off your right, exhale through your left. And then as you're ready, you'll inhale through the left, right up to that space right under the first two fingers, and then close off your left, exhale through your right. Breathe in through your right. Close your right and exhale left. Okay, so we'll do this for about 1 minute and go nice and slowly. So there's no rush, you don't have to do a certain amount, just stay connected with your breath. Find the full inhalation right up to the center of the mind, full exhalation as the breath flows out. And stay with a sense of ease in your body. Relax through your shoulders. Finding smooth, even breath. Even on the inhale, even on the exhale. And you'll go ahead and finish up your last round here, no rush. Let's finish by exhaling out through the left nostril. And from there you can lower your right hand down, take a moment, breathe in and out through both nostrils. Notice the qualities of your breath. And then softly open your eyes and let's come into child's pose, balasana. So lots of options here. You can just come straight to the ground, knees wide, no props. If you happen to have a bolster nearby, you might take your bolster. You can even take your blanket on top of your bolster like a little pillow and snuggle the bolster right up between the inner thighs, and then rest your belly and your chest and your head down. If you have a block, you can make a little runway to lift the bolster up and find a little more support. So we'll stay here for 3 minutes, so take your time finding the right props and the right shape and settling. There's no rush. So you want the hips to drop back toward your heels and your spine to grow long. Allowing your head to rest. And if it's hard to breathe with your head flat on the ground or on your bolster, that's what the blanket is helpful for, if you take it right under your forehead, or you can turn your head to one side. As we want to stay with that nice nourishing breath that we found. Allowing your body to settle little by little with each breath. So more and more with each breath, with each moment. So according to traditional Chinese medicine, in the fall, we work on nourishing the lung and the large intestine meridians. And the meridians, are the energy highway system in the body. So can visualize these meridians through the chest and through the arms. So especially here, as the large intestine meridian starts at the index fingers and flows up the back of the arm, the back of the shoulder, and then down into the belly, and then a branch goes up and ends right next to the nose. So as you're stretching and lengthening here, coaxing some chi, some energy through the large intestine meridian. And the lung meridian starts in the center of the chest and flows down into the belly again, and then up and out through the shoulders, through the inner arms to the thumbs. And these organs are both organs that help us to take in and also help us to release and let go, that balance. Okay, let's take 3 more breaths here. And so go ahead when you're ready. Come on up, support yourself up. And then you can move your props out of your way. So we'll take a child's pose twist, and you can go right into it. I'll be there in just a moment. Or if you need a little counter pose, actually let's all just do a counter pose together. Come to all fours and take a few rounds of cat and cow very slowly. Inhale, extending your spine. Exhale and rounding. Okay, and then come back to neutral, and then maybe find the blanket. Okay, so we're gonna come back to that wide knee child's pose. We're gonna add a twist. So you might wanna open up your blanket, unless you're on carpet, and take your knees wide. And then let's go over to the left first. So you're gonna walk over to the left, and if this bothers your knees, you can do a happy baby pose. You can lay on your back and hold your ankles or your feet, okay? If you're with me on this twist, you're gonna walk your arms over to the left and then slide your right arm under. And then maybe you want that block under your head, or maybe your bolster, or another blanket, a pillow, whatever you have, unless your head can reach the ground comfortably. And then the left arm is just resting wherever it lands. You don't have to stretch it in any certain way. You can just let the elbow bend. You know, we want to be passive here in our yin practice. We want to find ease and a place where we can breathe well, where we can soften, and where we can go a little more inward. You might feel some length there through the right side of your body. Again, stretching the outer hips. And then there's that large intestine meridian again as you press your right arm into the ground. Feeling that compression, moving some energy there. We want to nourish these meridians because we want energy to flow harmoniously through our body and also support these organs and their functions. And so if you practice a lot with me, you know that each season we focus on a different pair of organs according to traditional Chinese medicine. And this season it's the lung and large intestine. And so there's a lot of other ways to nourish these organs as well. And one is actually what we do in yoga, is breathe in and out through the nose instead of the mouth, because when we breathe in and out through the nose, you're filtering the air, purifying the air, humidifying the air. And there's actually an acupressure point right next to your nose from the large intestine meridian that you can press. You can kind of massage and it'll clear out your sinuses. And we'll take another 3 breaths here. And then take your time, we'll come on up. And you decide if you need a counter pose, you can come back to cat and cow or downward dog. If you're ready for the other side, you can go ahead and walk your arms over to the other side. You can widen your knees if you found a little more space. And then you're threading your left arm under and bring your head down so it's supported on a block, the floor, a blanket, a pillow, whatever you have there. And the right arm is just resting this time, okay? Whenever you're ready, there's plenty of time, so take that counter pose if your body needs it. You need to take a moment to check in a neutral place, do that, and then join us in this version of child's pose. And you'll feel into the left shoulder, the left arm. Let your head rest, your eyes soften, your cheeks, jaw relax. And then another way that we can support these meridians in the fall season, so remember they're in the chest, through the arms, through the neck, into the face, is to stay warm, you know. So when you go out and it's the fall, so it's windy, it's raining, it's chilly here in Seattle anyway, dress warm so you keep these energy channels warm and healthy. So wear sweaters, you know, wear a scarf. And that will help support the gut and the immune function and keep us from getting sick. And as you're in this shape, you might actually feel a sense of warmth to the places that we're stretching or compressing. You might feel a little more energy flow. That's good. Just a few more moments here. As you're ready, you can slowly come up and out of this shape. Okay, and then let's all take another counter pose, cat and cow or downward facing dog, or just maybe some circles through the hips and the shoulders. Okay, and then we'll come onto our belly. So if you want to take your blanket, move it up, and do another shoulder stretch. So you can have your blanket, you know, I'm going to put mine out to the side because of the floor, but you can just place it along your mat if that's most comfortable. So first we're just going to come down into sleeping crocodile, where you come onto your belly, stretch your legs back, and then take your hands on top of one another and place your head on top of your hands. Let your body settle. Relax your glutes, your hamstrings. Relax your belly, relax your chest. Feel the support from the ground beneath you. Okay, and then from here, let's lift the head. We're going to take the left hand like right under your shoulder. So slide your left hand back. Take your right arm out to the right, so it's in line with your right shoulder. Bend your left knee, and we're going to roll over to the right. So you can bring your left foot to the ground. If you want to be a little more passive here, just stay on your right hip, and you can just take your left leg on top of your right, so both knees are bent. You know, you want to find that conservative edge. So if it's too much for your shoulder to put your left foot on the ground, then I would suggest just keep both knees bent and take your left knee on top of your right. Okay. And you can slide your left hand in towards your chest like a little lever to deepen the stretch in the front of the right shoulder and the chest. And let your head rest comfortably. So again, if you need a little support under your head, roll out slowly and carefully and find that support. Just reminding you, this is a practice that it doesn't require a lot of energy. So as you're here, be very passive, relaxed. You don't go to that deepest edge, you go to that first edge and feel into that space. Feeling something, not too much, not too little, and a broad stretch, especially across the chest here, front of your right shoulder, through your right arm. And moving some energy through the long meridian here. Another thing we can do to support our body this fall is to be sure to stay hydrated. Drinking lots of water, maybe even adding electrolytes for proper absorption. But it's vital, you know, to the lungs, the large intestines, of the skin to stay hydrated. As our weather, like I said, it's cold, it's cool. You know, we tend to get a little drier. So staying hydrated. Okay, so about 3 more breaths here. And as you're ready, slowly roll back onto your belly. Come back into sleeping crocodile pose. You can even send your legs a little bit wider and rest your head on your hands. And let your body again melt down into the ground. So soften your glutes, hamstrings, belly, chest, head. We'll go over to the other side, lift your head. You can take your right hand under your right shoulder, stretch your left arm out, right in line with your shoulder, palm facing down, bend your right knee, and then roll over to your left. And make sure you can rest your head on something, the ground, a pillow, a blanket. Knees on top of each other, or bring your right foot to the ground. And anytime you do something asymmetrical, just be mindful to take care of each side. They're both unique oftentimes, so if you need to back off a little bit, back off. One shoulder might be tighter than the other or opposite. Maybe you can go a little deeper. So just be very mindful, stay connected with your breath. That's a good indication that you're in good space if you're breathing well. And another benefit of breathing in and out through your nose instead of through your mouth is that it slows down our breath. And this activates our rest and digest response. You'll feel your nice, slow, really smooth, even breath here. Just a few more moments. And then slowly start to come back onto your belly. No rush. Back to sleeping crocodile. You can send your legs out wide again. Rest your head. Let your body drop. And then you can lift your head, and as you're ready, hands under your shoulders, press yourself up. And then from here, back bends. I'm going to give you a couple options. So you can take your blanket, you can roll it up like a little square. And then, so this would be a little more mild, and then you'll take that right under your thoracic spine, and you'll go up and over. You can take your arms maybe cactus or over your head. Okay, so that's a more mild back bend. If you want a deeper back bend and you happen to have a bolster or a pillow, you can take your bolster widthwise on your mat and then take your blanket over, and then you can do the same kind of thing. So it's right under your upper back, thoracic spine, and you stretch up and over. Okay, so your hips are heavy. And you can imagine the flow of energy from your chest out through your arms. You can always place a little something under your head. And just see what you have there and what feels right now. Okay, so blanket under your upper back or the bolster. And if anytime it becomes too much to have your arms up and over your head like that, you feel free to slide them out to the sides, cactus your arms, bend your elbows. You know, it's okay to move if needed. Okay, but feel this nice opening through the front side of your body where these meridians flow. Heavy through your legs, relax all the way through your feet. Breathing in and out through your nose, slowing down the breath. Stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest mode. Another thing that can be supportive in the fall is thinking about how the leaves are falling off the trees right now. Fall invites us to let go of what no longer serves us. You know, where are we putting our energy? Do we need to be putting it there? or can you clean your home or your office? You know, letting go might seem like a subtraction from your life, but it's necessary for growth. Letting go of what no longer serves. There's a great quote from Rumi. He says, "Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop." Just a few more moments here. And you want to come out slowly. So you might lower your arms first. You can maybe place them on your bolster or on the ground, bend your knees. And let's roll to one side to come up. And just sit for a moment once you get there. Again, never rushing in this practice. Just take a moment, find a seat, feel into your body here, into your breath. Just a little check-in. Breathe right up to the center of the mind, space between your eyebrows. And exhale that breath right out through your nose. Take one more breath. Okay, and then just open up your eyes when you're ready, and let's take either saddle pose, I'll give you two options here, or supine stag. So saddle pose is, you take virasana or hero's pose, so you sit between your feet and you can sit on a blanket or right on the floor on a block, and then you'll go back over maybe your bolster, your pillow. Now if that bothers your knees, then I have a great option for you, which will still open up the thighs and the hip flexors and the belly. You'll come on your back and come into a supine stag pose, and then I'll just cue you halfway through so you can switch sides. So if you don't want to do saddle, you'll come onto your back, take your feet wide, and you'll windshield wiper your legs over to the right side. Okay, so then you'll probably start to feel a stretch lengthening through the top of your left thigh, your hip, your belly. And if you need something under this left knee, you can grab your block for support. Okay, so see if one of those will work. And again, you don't have to rush. And I'll just let you know halfway into the hold, and then you can switch to the other side if you happen to be in that supine stag. If you're in saddle, then you'll just stay, okay, because you're symmetrical. And if you're in saddle pose or even supine stag, arms out to the sides, or if you can catch opposite forearms over your head. Make sure it's not too much for your knees. Should feel a nice broad stretch over the thigh or thighs, hips, belly, again, your chest. Noticing your breath, letting that guide you to stay where you are in the pose, or to back off, or find a little more depth. Let it also be an anchor for your attention. When the mind wanders, invite it back to the breath. If you're in supine stag, go ahead and take your legs over to the other side. If you're in saddle pose, just stay. Another thing we can do in the fall to keep up, to feel good and enhance our well-being is to stay inspired. So it's a good time to learn something new, to read books, to listen to podcasts, and surround yourself with people whom you admire. It's essential as we move into these darker days. It's a good time to contemplate. Just a few more moments here. Okay, if you're in the supine stag, you can lower your arms and bring your legs back through center. Pause. And if you're in saddle pose, you can bring your hands maybe to your feet or beside your feet and lift your head and start to press into the ground to lift yourself up. And then you can come forward and let's all meet on our back. And once you get onto your back, you can hug your knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side. And find any other movement that you like. Before we'll take Savasana, so maybe rolling your knees around in a circle, massaging your low back. Could be happy baby pose. Okay, and then when you're ready, no rush. Make sure you're nice and warm and cozy. And find Savasana. You can take your bolster maybe under your knees to support your back. You can take your blanket over your whole body or over your hips. If you have an eye pillow, you can use an eye pillow. Take your time settling into this pose as well. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes or roll your ankles, your wrists till they feel settled. Maybe even rock your head side to side, relax your jaw. Feel again the support from the ground beneath you, and let your body drop heavier with each breath. And slowly begin to deepen your breath. And find some movement in your body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, roll your ankles, your wrists. On your next inhale, stretch your arms over your head, reach from your fingertips to your toes. And as you exhale, drop your body heavy. Take your time, lower your arms, bend your knees, and roll over to one side. Use your arm as a pillow. And then with your eyes soft or closed, carefully press yourself back up to your seat. Feel your spine nice and tall. Feel into your breath. Visualize the brightness of your whole being. Bring your hands to your heart. Come back to your offering for your practice. And let's close together with the sound of Om. Empty your breath. Let's breathe in together. Om. Thank you all for the blessing of your company. Have a lovely evening, and may others as well benefit from our practice. Namaste.